Baaack.
Sometimes you're a fire, sometimes you're a ghost. Sometimes you can give me all the things that I love the most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's quite like you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Blue Hell Worldwide here on Shaun Does FM. I hope your weekend is going well, and today in episode number 38 we've got Gremio in the 8th round of the FA Cup, followed by Estudiantes in the league, but we are at the start of January as well, so we're going to start to do a little bit of business potentially in this mid-season transfer window for this third season of this World Super League save. So if you're looking forward to that, then do remember to go on down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already, also consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. But we've played no games since the end of yesterday's episode, which if you missed, I'll leave a link to above my head in the top right corner. And we are on the morning of our Gremio game, the day that the transfer window has opened. And if we go over to the inbox, we've already had some offers for two of our younger, more promising players here at the club. And first off, it is young Anthony Reyes. There is a lot of interest in this guy, it would seem, in this upcoming transfer window. 10 clubs interested. The first bid has come in, rather ironically, FM22 beta considering, from Tottenham. Luckily for us, Reyes doesn't actually want to join them. He'd rather go to Manchester City. They haven't put a bid in for him yet, but this is a guy that we might struggle to keep hold of in this upcoming transfer window. This first bid, he's valued at 4.2 million euros. They've put a bid in of 5.5. There's a couple of installments in there, so that's going to go up to 7.6. There's a few other add-ons which might happen. I think the international appearance one will at some stage, being American minimum league goals. Not too sure about that in the Premier League, whether he's going to get much game time for them, but it's a locked-in deal. If I could get him back on loan for the rest of the season, I might actually consider accepting this one. The percentage of profit from the next sale at 40% isn't too bad either. My head's probably blocking that so you guys can't see it, as well as some of these other details of this deal. But because he doesn't want to go there, I think I'm just going to turn this one down. But if Manchester City come in for him, we might struggle to keep hold of him, albeit I would like something up front more around the 10 million euro mark, because I feel like that's fair for a guy who has a heap of potential, valued at 4.2 million euros already. So first transfer bid that we've got in this window, we are going to reject, mainly because it's from Tottenham and he doesn't want to go there, but we might struggle to keep hold of Anthony Reyes in this upcoming window. And the other thing to consider is Anthony Reyes is actually, attribute-wise, more suited to the advanced forward role than Alan Pulido is these days. So really, he could be our starting striker now, albeit is in a little bit of a rough patch of form, but that's also something to consider as well. Maybe if it was Tottenham coming in for someone like Pulido, we probably would be saying yes to that offer, but with it being Reyes, very promising, we'll try and keep hold of a player like that. And the other offer that's come in, there's two of them in fact, is for Gianluca Busio, and this is going to get very interesting because one of the clubs is AC Milan and he does want to go there now. He's valued at 28 million. The deal that Milan are offering, we're probably going to turn down the one from the Chinese Super League team in Henan Yanji, but AC Milan now at 7.25 million up front. It's a locked-in deal. Another 7.5 million coming in through installments over 3 years. So that's 15 million more or less, and that's not that much for a player valued at 28 million euros, albeit we're going to get another 11 million from league appearances. So that bumps up to 26, and then after a US cap, which shouldn't be far away, that's where you get the 31 million from. I think we can get more out of AC Milan for this guy personally. I would rather get something, probably going to set the bar at about 40 million for him. And again, I'd also like potentially a little bit more of a percentage of profit from next sale, and also try and get this guy back on loan for the rest of the season just to finish things off here at Sporting Kansas City. So it's probably going to upset him, but I think we're going to reject this offer from AC Milan. They need to pony up more cash up front, I think it's fair to say, because if we did sell him around the 40 million euro mark, that could lead to a big overhaul here at Sporting Kansas City going into the final half of the season. So we're going to reject that one. All offers of lower or equivalent value also tell the Chinese team to sod off, and we'll go forward and see if that upsets anyone. I imagine it will now. Yeah, he's not too happy. We'll ask if Tim Melia can try and resolve this. Hopefully he can. And we'll just go back and see. And he is happy to stay. So that worked out well. So he doesn't actually want to join Milan anymore. We'll see if they come in with any bids. I think, as I said, if they come in around the 40 million mark and we can get him back on loan for the rest of the season, either of those things, and we might have to seriously consider letting Gianluca Busio go. But as you can see there, it could be a busy little window for us in terms of some of our young talents being sought after by those Premier League clubs. I'm imagining that a few more offers will come in for Reyes with the amount of clubs interested in him, but we'll see what happens if Manchester City come in for him and if Milan come back in for Gianluca Busio. But we have already made some transfers in this window. There were a bunch of guys who came to the club on trial, and we've finally got them to join on a permanent basis now that the window has opened. So if we go to our transfer history, we'll just sort this out into the right order, and we'll get rid of this bar so we can see a bit more of it and can see there's a lot of free transfers. Now, luckily for us, most of these are going to be reserve team players, so we won't spend too long dwelling on these guys. But first off, actually in early December, I don't think I brought you guys notice of these ones, but first off, Marquez Muir is a English centre-back. You can see quite tall, as well like in a centre-back. He has joined the club in the reserves at the moment. Next up, in late December, we bought in Sluim Muharimi. He is a German goalkeeper, 17 years old, so in the under 18s. 4-star potential. We are going to look to offload some reserve goalkeepers this upcoming window. Those sort of 3-star potential guys we are going to look to offload now, but he's quite a promising goalkeeper, so a good get for us there, considering that we do have a lot of those goalkeepers who might need to be moved on, because we do have some quite promising players at the club these days. So almost seeing the bar now that you have to have about 3.5-star, 4-star potential if you're going to keep your spot at the club. And then the guys who have joined right before those bids came in for Busio and Reyes, and Estrada, another goalkeeper, this one with 5-star potential, 18 years old, into the reserves, and is probably going to be the starting goalkeeper for the reserves. So really adding some good depth there at goalkeeper, especially as we're probably going to be getting rid of the likes, as I said, of Brooks Thompson, Paul's Camp, those guys who have been here since the start. They don't really have the potential now to be featuring here at SKC. Lucas Stevenson is a defensive midfielder, 2.5-star rated, so could already slot in to the first team as almost a third choice in and around the same level as Khalifa Ngongolo. 5-star potential, good pickup on a free transfer in the reserves, but if we get injuries, a player that we can definitely call on in that defensive midfield role. Next up, Ari Sigurpelson. He is an Icelandic 19-year-old left winger, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, some really good physicals, good player for the future to have in the reserves. Next up, we bought in a couple of strikers. First up, Hugo Navarre. He can also play on either wing, but I think with that 12 finishing, we're probably going to train him up early as a striker. 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, and the media description is striker as well. So I think we're going to see what we can do with him here. Another backup striking option, which might mean that we can move on some of the more lower potential players striking wise at the clubs, the likes of maybe Wilson Harris. We might look to get rid of him. And then another striker who's more or less going to jump straight in as our third choice striker here at Sporting Kansas City, and that's Keon Edwards, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. More of an attacking midfielder, but we don't really use an attacking midfielder here, so he's going to be trained to go up front. Might need to work on that finishing, but another promising player. So we're really bolstering the depth, and that means that we can get rid of some of the lesser potential players out of our reserves in this upcoming window. And before we get into the first game of today's episode, the FA Cup 8th round 1 against Gremio, we did make a change to the tactic as we suggested at the end of Friday's episode. I think I called it yesterday's episode earlier on. It was Friday, of course, and it is in the advanced playmaker role. Ryan Wintle was really struggling there. So what we've done is we've had a look at the roles that might suit us best here, and we have gone with the Carrilero. Just think that might suit well with the box-to-box and the way that we're set up with our free central midfielders. So Ryan Wintle is going to have a little stint there as a Carrilero, and hopefully we can see some improved performances out of him. It does look like a role that should suit the system quite well, so if he doesn't perform well there, we'll just keep mixing and matching with either Walter or Doyle Hayes, and otherwise we might look at getting someone in if we have enough money, because we really need to sort that position out. It's one of the ones that's really letting us down at the moment alongside the strikers. But we're about to head into this Gremio game. We may as well run you guys through the team now that we are on the screen. Rashid Gazelle, of course, out with an injury picked up in yesterday's episode. So Johnny F. and Russell get to start, and it will be Craig Jones on the bench. Cisneros has a little bit of a niggle, but still fitter than Daniel Shalloy, so he keeps his bench spot. Ngongolo comes in for a suspended Sasha Jala, and of course that means that Ili Sanchez is going to get a start, and another player who's suspended for this upcoming game is Odin Bjortuft. So that means that Coronado will partner Vandenberg at the back. Two players who are performing pretty well this season, two young centre backs. Hopefully they can keep a good job going for us there. Looking through the rest of the squad, we are first choice. And we'll come back shortly from Children's Mercy Park to run you guys through the Gremio team sheet for this FA Cup 8th round game. So at the ground for this FA Cup 8th round game, there is our team. Again, interested to see what Wintle can do in the Caralero role. And in terms of Gremio, they are playing a 4-2-3-1 there in a pretty rough patch of form. So hopefully we can get past these guys in front of our expanded capacity crowd. Okay, 1 minute gone here, and we're going to have an early free kick right on the edge of the box, which Bussio's going to put in. Sepp Vandenberg at the far post, and that's exactly the start that we were after. A perfect one in front of Blue Hull, and we are 1-0 up after 2 minutes. Exactly what we wanted to see. Bussio on the edge of the box. Thank God we didn't think about selling him before, needing a lot more money to get rid of him now. And he sets up Sepp Vandenberg, and after 3 minutes, we go 1-0 up, and shortly off the back of that, we have a throw in a good area of the pitch. So it looks like we might be starting this game off pretty nicely as Ambloise Yongo makes his way down the left. Is just able to keep the ball there, shuffle it to Felix Mecha Yongo, and for Johnny Russell at the far post, gets his left foot onto it on the volley into the bottom right corner. And it's a sensational start here for Sporting Kansas City, 2-0 up after 4 minutes. I thought Yongo might have just lost that there through Otero, but Mecha tidies things up back to Yongo, and Johnny F. and Russell just given a little bit too much space there at the far post. Goalkeeper shielded by his defenders there, which didn't help, I don't think. And we go 2-0 up inside 5 minutes. 11 minutes gone here, and it is a goal kick to us, but hopefully we can keep this blistering start going. We have looked very good in the limited highlights that we have seen so far, but been very effective with them. Polito up to Johnny F. and Russell, who's already on the score sheet. Makes his way into the edge of the box, get past his man. Can he put a dangerous ball across? He's brought down there. No penalty, but the clearance is going to fall to Sepp Vandenberg, who is also already on the score sheet. Ili plays a ball over for Olasunde in a lot of space, the American right back edge of the box. Nice ball for Felix Metra. He's onside, and we are hammering Gremio at home here, 3-0 after 12 minutes. This is a perfect start in this FA Cup 8th round game. We are already in a very good position to be making it through to the next round. Olasunde plays the ball, and Mecha just in a good enough position to be onside, and he puts it in the bottom left corner, and we go 3-0 up very early on. We'll just check the offside. It's a very well-timed run and pass, and 3-0 up after 12 minutes. 19 minutes gone here, and it is Gremio with a throw as they look to get something going for the first time in this game, and they're going to need to do it pretty quickly as well, because they are in a world of hurt early. We have started this game off like an absolute rocket. Good header away there from Yongo from that Gremio attack though, and now it's Felix Mecha marching down the left-hand side. Will he try and play Polito free? Won't. Has a shot, forces a decent save there out of Miglalaro, and it does remain 3-0 after 20 minutes. Corner at the half-hour mark as we look to make it for Bussio into the mixer. Sepp Vandenberg, they link up yet again, and we go 4-0 up on the half-hour mark, and this is a battering that Gremio are taking here in front of the Blue Hull. Again, we are playing very well in front of that supporters stand here in this first half. Nice finish there from Vandenberg into the top left corner. 4-0 after only half an hour. 35 minutes gone now, and Gremio down the other end with a corner of their own. Vandenberg does clear it, but Johnny F. and Russell can't quite get to it before the Gremio man can, and they do look to mount an attack for the first time in this game, really. Nearly thought we were going to get that pass there, but it does find Zakeli, and they do keep possession here. Mendes plays this out to Cipriano, and he makes his way forward down the left, back over there to Mendes. Long shot straight at Insane, but he has to parry it out. 46 minutes gone here, and Gremio on the attack again. Hopefully we can keep them out here and go into the sheds with a clean sheet. Oyongo with a good interception, and Polito heads that down to Johnny F. and Russell. And if we can make it 5, it will surely be game over. Wintle, nice ball for Mecha. He'll take it round the goalkeeper, but it's offside. That would have been a perfect way to end that half. It did look a little bit good to be true, although I don't think he was offside by too much here. He's pretty well offside, truth be told. And it looks like we're going to be going into the sheds at 4-0. That's a superb half, though. very happy with how things are going. Look at those stats. We are absolutely thumping these guys, and potentially most happily, Ryan Wintel's actually performing pretty well. So that Carolero role does seem to be going well. We'll ask for more of the same in the second half, 4-0 up in this FA Cup 8th round tie. Okay, 66 minutes gone here. Nothing's happened in the second half so far, worth noting, but two players on red hearts. Lucas Flanco on for Busio and Cisneros on for Metja. Still 4-0 up with 24 minutes to go. And shortly off the back of that, at the 69th minute, our last substitution, Johnny F. and Russell on a red heart, Craig Jones to come on for him. 71 minutes gone here, the first proper highlight of the second half. It's a goal kick to Gremio, which they just keep possession from there, and they look to drive forward now through Brighter, but Vandenberg having a great game on a hat-trick, intercepts that, and he gets the ball up to Jones. Now Polido holds it up over to Jones, just on the edge of the box, loses possession, and Robert will look to get something going here for Gremio on the counter-attack, just inside their own half now, and they look to drive forward at us. Good slide tackle there, though, from Lucas Franco, and then Ili Sanchez. Wintel nearly pinches the ball back, but they are still somehow in possession here. Gremio, Robert just holding things up as they look to finally launch a decent attack in this game. Klunter on the edge of the box puts a ball in, it finds Otero. Here's a shot, but it goes wide, and we're still 4-0 up. And now 73 minutes gone. It's a corner here to Gremio, which we deal with, but Klunter will tidy things up for the team in white, who have not really done much. They are having a bit of a shocker, it is fair to say, and there's a good interception there from Olasunde. Wintel to Jones, and now it's Polido holding things up. Plays a ball over the top. It's not a very good one because Cisneros can't get on the end of that, and they look to play out from the back here to Gremio. Silva, good ball put in there, from Franco. Plays the ball up for Polido. What can he do? He was almost one-on-one with the keeper, but the defender just got back in time and keeps it at 4-0. 78 minutes gone here. We play a ball forward, but straight into the arms of Miguelaro. Might be Miguelaro, that one, but he is about to clear this, and he will try and find a teammate, but Olasunde with the interception. Cisneros on the left-hand side. It's a slide tackle, and the referee's given a straight penalty there. This will be interesting to see what happens. A straight yellow card. Now Vandenberg is on the penalty, and he will get a hat-trick. Will Sepp Vandenberg. Things you love to see. Your centre-back tucking away a penalty to complete his hat-trick, and at the 80-minute mark, we are 5-0 up and absolutely battering Gremio. This is a great performance considering our recent struggles to score goals, albeit 3 of them have come through our centre-back, which is a little bit unusual, but very happy with how this is going. 5-0 up with 10 to play.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, with 7 minutes to go, Craig Jones is going to be forced from the field because we've used up all our substitutions, and he has picked up a red injury. I think we're just going to leave things the way they are here because we're 5-0 up. There's not really much point changing anything. So we'll see if anything happens in these last few minutes. And Gremio now do have a throw, and hopefully we can hold on to this clean sheet, but they do now have a man advantage and could make the most of us down their left-hand side here, as we are going to be a little bit lighter in numbers down there. Mendes, Cipriano, Klunter, and they do look to be attacking our right-hand side there, although there is Otero, and a lot of space down the right, puts the ball in for Zaquiri, and unfortunately, we can't hold on to that clean sheet, but truth be told, it's just a consolation goal for Gremio because we have absolutely outplayed them here today. Nice ball from Mendes to Otero. First time cross. Somehow Sakiri gets that shot off and not much space, and it's a really good finish into the top left corner, but we lose our clean sheet. But we should be winning this game 5-1 as we enter injury time, down to 10 men, but conceding a goal because of that really. But otherwise, that's a really good performance from us. We'll come back and see just how serious that Jones injury is, but a really good performance. Ryan Wintel, 7.4 rating, so really happy with how he played in that Carolero role, and overall a very good performance from the boys there, one of our best ones in quite a while, and we go through to the next round of the FA Cup off the back of a 5-1 win against Gremio. So we've got some interesting transfer news to bring you guys. If you can tell I'm smiling, it's a really good deal, but first off, Craig Jones, the injury that we suffered in that Gremio game, he is going to be out with pulled ankle ligaments for 7 days to 2 weeks, but we have made a signing up front, and he's back. It is Yusufa Makoko. He has come back to Sporting Kansas City. It just seems that he only wants to come here in 6-month-long spells. I didn't actually try that at the start of the season. That's probably something I should have done. I pretty much tried everything else to try and get him back to the club, apart from give him only a 6-month contract instead of a full season contract. But he is very happy to be coming back for 6 months, and this could be massive for our chance of trying to get out of this division or at least win the league anyway and go into one of those promotion playoffs, because this guy was sensational for us last season. I think it was 26 goals in 12 or 13 games. It was a ridiculous strike rate. The one concern, his wage has gone up quite significantly from when we got him last season. He was only on about 6k a week last season. It's gone up to 46.5, but this is just too good a deal not to do. Yusufa Makoko, the number 69, back at Sporting Kansas City, and that means now we can definitely look to start shipping out someone like Alan Pulido. Hopefully that doesn't disrupt squad dynamics too much, but that is a massive get for us. Yusufa Makoko back at Sporting Kansas City, looking just as good as he did last season, if not better, and hopefully that will fix our slight issue we had up front. He was great for us last season. We'll just check exactly how good he was for us. 15 games, 23 goals, so slightly oversold that, but he also got a hat-trick against Arsenal in a Europa League game, so it must have been 26 goals from 16 games, but nonetheless, how he performed last season, if he can do that again in the exact same division, which is probably a little bit weaker without Flamengo this time around, we're going to be in for a very good finish to the season here at Sporting Kansas City, especially with less cup competitions that we are in this time around as well. So very, very happy to get Yusufa Makoko back to the club. Okay, we are back in the transfer centre because on the day of this Estudiantes game, we have made a few sales to try and balance the books, because if we show you guys our wage budget soon, it's not great after bringing Makoko back. That's something we are going to have to deal with, but we have sold a few players to try and start helping with that. All reserve players. First off, Masanisa Ufala, a French defensive midfielder who we bought in to try and be a backup alongside Ngongolo, ended up dropping down to 3-star potential, so he has gone to Vizela, valued at 91k. We bought him in on a free transfer, so to sell him for 135,000 without playing a game for us looks like a good bit of business there. Next up, we sold a reserve central defender, Danishman Emil Baaack, valued at 135,000. Again, a player who we bought in on a free transfer. He has gone to Al Hilal for his value. So again, without playing a game for the first team, decent bit of business there for the club. And then a player who has featured a little bit over the past few years as a emergency backup left back for us, Aidan Stanley, his potential also dropping down quite significantly since we've had a few youth intakes and bring some of those players who have come through on trial into the club permanently. He has gone to El Cayano, the 23-year-old American. He's actually played a few games for the club, but did come through the kind of youth academy. We got him off St. Louis in Portland, got here on a free, have sold him for 66k. So a few good bits of business there. And if we go to the transfers, where you can see kind of where we're lacking in the wage budget, we're 9k over, so it's not terrible, but we don't have a lot of transfer budget left because of that, so we're really having to try and fit Makoko in due to that wage being a lot higher than it was when he came here last season. We've got a few more players that we are trying to get rid of. Remy Deschamps is under offer from a few clubs, 425,000 from Burnley, so he might be leaving. Probably could have been getting rid of Tim Melia because Deschamps has better potential, but Tim Melia is a team leader, so we don't want to be getting rid of him because of that. And if we make our way further down, Helti Sigurdsson, he's another player who we bought in not that long ago, only a season or two ago, but his potential's dropped right down from where we thought it would go to. He's under offer from a few clubs for 475,000. So that would be about an extra million, give or take, coming back into the club, and hopefully that would help with that wage budget. We might also try and just ask the board if they can top it up as well if those don't go to plan, but we're going to try and get that wage budget sorted so we can afford to keep the club running smoothly while Makoko is here for the rest of the season. But those are the transfers that we've done in today's episode. There should be no more in today because we're going to be playing this Estudiantes game, and that will do it for today. It is 7th versus 14th. It's a game that we really should be winning, and we've got most of our players back who were out for that FA Cup tie as well. So a very strong team will be putting out for this game, and hopefully we can get another good result in front of the expanded Children's Mercy Park. And here are the team sheets for this game. We've made a few changes, players coming back into the mix, Jala and Bjortuf. The one thing that we have done, Bjortuf actually came in for Vandenberg instead of Coronado, with Vandenberg on a heavy workload and Coronado in a pretty good patch of form. So we've decided that Bjortuf will come and give Vandenberg a bit of a rest. And obviously the other change that we've made Makoko up front. He was so lethal for us last season. Hopefully he can pick up where he left off. Estudiantes on the right. They've got David Ayala, a player who we tried to pick up in the Hexagon Challenge, chose Arsenal over Monaco, which was an interesting decision. But otherwise, that looks like a pretty beatable team. So hopefully we can get another good result here at home. 10 minutes gone and we have a corner in the first highlight of the game. Busio to put this in. Beautiful far post. Mecha. But he puts it into the side netting. Good early chance. Still 0-0. But off the back of that, we have a free kick. Busio trying to curve that towards the far post. Beautiful. Back in for Mecha. Another good effort. But Ziggy puts that out for a corner. And we are all over Estudiantes early. Not quite the same start we had as in the Gremio game, but a good one nonetheless. Makoko trying to run onto that corner, but unfortunately can't get his head onto it. They will look to try and get us here on the counter-attack with Estudiantes. A bit of frost on the ground from the snow, but good little foot in there to stop that play from Estudiantes, and it's 0-0 after a quarter of an hour. 17 minutes gone, and we do have a throw-in, albeit deep inside our own half, but Olasunde looks to drive forward down this right-hand side as we look to get the first goal in this game, and we have played pretty well so far without getting anything in the back of the net. Olasunde, far post, Felix Mecha, the goalkeeper there from Estudiantes, tried to punch that away but couldn't quite get to it. And Felix Mecha keeps up a really good goal scoring record he's got since stepping into the first team last season after a few good highlights where we couldn't quite put the ball in the back of the net. Third time lucky. Yeah, not the greatest idea there from the goalkeeper. Should have just gone to the far post, but ends up laying flat on his back as Mecha puts that in at the far post, and we go 1-0 up after 20 minutes. 29 minutes gone here, and it is a goal kick to Estudiantes, which Ziggy takes a fair while to ponder over, but it's a poor one as Olasunde heads that down to Russell, gets it back, and we look to go on the attack yet again. Oh, it's a lovely ball from Ryan Wintle. The Caballero roll is working to perfection, and Felix Mecha gets a double, and at the half-hour mark, we are 2-0 in front, and this is looking very good to start 2023 in this World Super League save. That change from advanced playmaker to Caballero might have been exactly what we needed, because we've started these two games in today's episode off very nicely. 2-0 up. 41 minutes gone here, and it is a free kick. Just waiting to see who's going to be taking this. It's Coronado who's going to try and put this into the top right corner, and it comes off the post. What a goal that would have been from the centre back, but it does remain 2-0, although we do have a highlight right on the brink of half-time. The Estudiantes defender does deal with that, but Jala will tidy things up for us. Wintle to Busio. Wintle up for Mecha again. Felix Mecha with a hat-trick. Ryan Wintle with 2 assists. It might have been a little fortunate there as Rosales makes his way back onto the pitch. So looks like we were playing against 10 men there, but that's the second assist of the day for Ryan Wintle. As I said, Caballero role looks to be fitting in really well with the system. Wonder what that would have done at the likes of PSG in the Hexagon Challenge now, because this is looking very promising. 3-0 is going to be the scoreline going into halftime, and yet again we are very happy with our first half of work here at Children's Mercy Park. Absolutely dominating the stats here against the Estudiantes. We'll make one change at halftime. Ambroise Iyongo on a 6.4 and a yellow heart, so Louis Martins can come on for him. And we'll also take Johnny Russell off for Emmanuel Thompson, who we snuck on the bench. Forgot to tell you guys about that, but we'll take him off because of that 6.9 rating yellow heart. We may as well take him off while he's not in the green as most other players here are, but hopefully keep more of the same up in the second half. 3-0 up against the Estudiantes. And we are going to get shown the restart there, so there's the substitutions that we ran you guys through during the halftime menu, and now it is the Estudiantes trying to get on the attack very early. Nice little clearance there from Bjortuf, but it is straight back to an Estudiantes player, albeit can't blame him too much for that, as he was facing the wrong way to see what was going on there. But Alisson tries to get something going early in the second half here for Estudiantes. Kamabawa plays a ball up for Alisson, just on the edge of the box. He puts the ball in for Pallavicino, and that's a really good header into the top right corner, and they strike back to start off the second half. Hopefully it's just a glitch for us here, because that first half was very good. Hopefully we can stem this and just keep them to that one goal. But Alisson, good ball. Pallavicino there beating Martins at the far post there, so not a great start from him, it looks like. And it's 3-1 shortly off the back of the restart. Okay, 66 minutes gone here. We're going to make our last substitution. I think it's actually going to be this one that I'm hovering over. Olasunde will come off for Lyshoj. Not sure why I clicked that in the end, because Felix Mecha playing pretty well. So I think we'll make that change, see if he can get a few more goals to add to his first half hat-trick. Lysoj for Olasunde, give him a bit of a rest after a 7.3 performance. That's all our subs used. 3-1 up still with 24 to go. 81 minutes gone, and we do have a throw in the second half. It's been a very quiet half, especially after Estudiantes did get that goal back, but it looks like we should be holding on here for a win, albeit still 10 minutes. So if we can get another one here to put it absolutely beyond doubt, that would be good, but definitely haven't quite gone as well as we did in the first half here in the second. And Mecha does lose the ball there, and Estudiantes will look to get on the counter, and hopefully we can nip this in the bud, because if they get another one back here, it would be game on. Beautiful with another one of those retreating sort of kung fu clearances, but Mane makes his way down the left, puts the ball in there for Pallavicino. That's a really good save from Unsane to keep it at 3-1 with 8 minutes to go, and they will have a corner. Hopefully we can deal with this safely, as well as Mane's about to whip this into the mixer, and a Yada with a header, but it goes over the bar and it does remain 3-1. And we do enter injury time here in this game. Looks like we'll be holding on for a fairly comfortable 3-1 win. Bit of a scare just after half time, but we did enough in that first half, largely thanks to Felix Metra. Another very good game as well from Ryan Wintle, but Metra with the hat-trick, definitely man of the match. They definitely came into things a lot more in the second half there to the Estudiantes, but we pick up a pretty comfortable win, albeit Yusufa Makoko, not exactly the reintroduction to Sporting Kansas City that we were hoping for there with a 6.4 rating, but hopefully he'll improve off the back of that. He surely will, because he was too good for us last season to be putting in performances like that for the rest of the year. And we pick up another 3 points in the league against the Estudiantes. And this is what the league table looks like off the back of that win against the Estudiantes. We are in 7th place, which I think is where we started off the episode, or were in after the game against Palmeiras in yesterday. So we're keeping that position, but starting to close the gap on LAFC. If we can win the game in hand on them, would only be 4 points behind them and right back in the title race, albeit Palmeiras, on the same amount of games played as us, are in a very good spot, as are Corinthians as well. So starting to look a little bit more like it did in the first season with the MLS League, where the teams with games in hand are going to be sneaking up on the ones currently near the top. But very happy with how today went. We got some good deals done. Makoko back on loan is going to be massive. He's surely going to be better than what he was in that Estudiantes game. And we managed to keep hold of some good players as well and ship off some reserve ones, but not much. We might still look at trying to bring in a left back to try and cover the Martins back up, because he's been a bit average so far this season, but we'll see what we can do with the additional money coming in and what happens with that, and trying to balance the books with that Makoko loan, because that's currently putting things out just a little bit, and we need to try and fix that first before we can look at bringing anyone else in. But that will do it for today's episode. A very good one, as I said, and when we'll be coming back for the next one on Tuesday, we'll be late in January. We'll try and wrap up the transfer window in that episode. We've got a FA Cup round of 64 game, which is a quite tasty one at the Maracana against Flamengo, the team who won this division last season and got promoted up to the Premier League. So a familiar foe for us there. It'll be interesting to see how we stack up against those guys with our current squad, albeit might give the first team a bit of a rest for that one. Not too sure, because we will try and definitely be focusing on shooting up the league now that we've found a good patch of form. Might be a chance to put the reserves out for another game, albeit they might be lambs to the slaughter there. But interesting matchup that one could be against Flamengo. See if we can progress through the round of 32 in that FA Cup, and I think we'll come back for that Monterrey game before the end of the transfer window as well. But if you did enjoy today's episode, it was a bit of a busy one. 2 good wins for us, as well as some really good transfers. And remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and also if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. And until Tuesday, we were going to wrap up the transfer window, do Flamengo and Monterrey in what is going to be the last week of this Blue Hell Worldwide series on FM21, before hopefully the Football Manager 22 beta does come out at the start of the following week. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Sometimes you can